Greetings, welcome back to Acadian Comics. I'm your host, James Fondren, and today I'm going to go over my pickups from Garden State Comic Fest Vineland. I really enjoyed the drive from New York City to Garden State Comic Fest in Vineland. Vineland is a quaint, pretty little New Jersey town. You get to drive kind of in the countryside. It's farmland, lots of farms, dairy farms, other agriculture out there. It's a pretty area, a pretty part of New Jersey. So it was enjoyable. But I got to catch up and meet. I did not the last year when I went to Garden State Comic Fest, and it was the summer of 2024. I live streamed it. I wasn't in a position to do that this year, but I did pick up some stuff, and I wanted to share that with y'all. So this was this was a bag that some of the things came in. And I met up with Ethan Van Sciver again, and it was cool to meet him again. And his son Hunter was working their booth. They had a really nice booth next to Zenoscope. Right when you walked in the convention center, the Vineland City Convention Center was really nice. And yeah, he was drawing he was doing a Power Girl sketch, and I got to see his process with his blue line, and he was going straight into inks. So it was cool. And this is the bag that it came in. But I'll just show you some of the things that I got. If I can do that. And this I've got a stack of comics here, and the stack is mostly books that Ethan signed. So here's another thing that I got, a beanie, a Comicsgate beanie. Pretty cool. So this is what it looks like on the front, and then it says Comicsgate on the back. Pretty cool. So when it gets cold, you can wear it. I can wear it outside when it gets like January. And yeah, Ethan, he had these like these Cyberfrog like liquor things, so you can like stick it, on whatever. I've got a couple of them in here, but I've got another one. I've got another one in a bag that he gave me. It was really nice. He was very generous with his time, and he was very giving. And I can tell you that these things are a hit in the house. The other thing I got from Ethan was this. Heather Swain, this Heather Swain action figure. Let me get so it comes with this nice little stand, right? See? And let me take this off real quick. All right. So yeah, look at that. Pretty cool, huh? Lots of articulation. You can swap the heads out. But here's his one of his characters from Cyberfrog, Heather Swain. You can bend the knees. You can turn the leg in, all that sort of thing. Like I said, you can change the, you can change the, sort of the articulation and movement. Pretty cool, huh? So, lots of detail on there. So that's Heather Swain. And then you get like I think there's like a knife also that you get, but, pretty cool. So, I'm going to put this right here for now. And, all right, so at his booth, he had 4 copies. Ethan had 4 copies of Black Riding Hood. So I was able to get a copy of Black Riding Hood, and I'm glad I did. So I've got it in this nice Mylar plastic bag. So that's going to protect it for a long, long time. So I read it, and the mail-in cut, contains adult language, violence, and situations, Comicsgate Arena, number 1, Black Riding Hood, the mail-in cut. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. I gotta figure out when to put these books. Where am I gonna put them? I guess I could put them in here. I'll put them there. And then I met with Mark Polton, who works with John Malin, helps him with his campaigns and fulfilling his campaigns. And I picked up Gun Goth, and he was selling these for like $10 a copy. And I let Mark know, Mark Polton from Haunted Pizza, I let him know that the fulfillment with Graveyard Shift 5 was really nice, and I got everything that I ordered, so I made sure to give him a compliment. Chris Graves did the cover on this, and Chris Graves and Mark Polton signed the book for me at the bottom there, so that was cool. And then here is Gun Goth 13 covers. This is a blind bag, so I haven't opened this yet, but I will at some point. So see if we can get Heather Swain in there more. Move the books over. Heather Swain. All right, great. Yeah, so this is a big stack of books. I'm gonna try to like turn it so you can see. Look at that. I know it's dark on one side, but look at that, right? Ethan signed every single one of these, and just like he did last time, he didn't charge me a penny for his signatures. Now, I know that's a common practice among artists, and when you work in convention, they want to make money, and I fully understand that. And I've paid for autographs before, but I know very few people that I know will do these signatures for free. So I have 2 copies of Deluxe Cyberfrog Heartsick Horror issue 2.5. He signed both of them. There you go. He signed Cyberfrog Dark Harvest. This is the Dale Keown cover, but Ethan signed it right there. He signed I think this is a 2001 printing of the of Cyberfrog from Harris Comics. He signed that. He signed issue number 1 of Cyberfrog from Harris Comics. And I kind of asked him what the value was on this, and he said, well, they printed like 8,000 copies, I think he said. So I paid about $3 for this in a back issue bin in a comic shop. Yeah, I'm just glad I got his signature on. I got it in these nice Mylar bags, you know. If you're interested in what I use for to protect my comic books, I use these My-Lights. It's an industry standard, and it's what they use at the National Archives and the Library of Congress. So it's a really good. It actually has a really nice presentation when you look at these Mylar bags, as opposed to like conventional plastic bags or poly bags. So here, this is Sketch Magazine, and I had Ethan sign this too, and there's a nice little interview in here. This is Sketch Magazine number 29, and there was a funny anecdote about how he had a friend that I don't think she was his girlfriend, but she was a friend of his, this girl who was on vacation with her boyfriend in Puerto Rico. And I asked him, I said, because he says in the interview, he says that his friend bought him this like ceramic frog. And what ended up happening was he said that she like would call him or something, and while she was with her boyfriend in Puerto Rico, calling Ethan, and she got the ceramic frog for him, I think. So I just thought that was funny story, you know. But yeah, he signed all of these, and most of what you're gonna see at this point is all gonna be his DC work, right? So, New 52, Green Lantern, New Gods, and I sometimes I'll come across these in like back issue bins, you know, and it's great. Here we go, another signed book by Ethan. Look, he drew Batman up here on this cover. This is from 2014. So he did the cover for this. Clearly he's not credited, but he did the cover for this comic, Green Lantern 33. Godhead, he signed this too. Even though he didn't do the cover on this, but he did the interiors here. Also, he did the interiors on this one, but this is like a bombshell variant. This he did do the art on for the cover. You can see his signature down here for World War. That's cool. And The Dark Knight, he drew this, and he did the cover, and he signed it for me right there. And then I brought the trade paperbacks, and he signed these. And look, these Mylar bags, they're really nice. They even fit like a trade paperback. See, so that works out pretty well. So he signed that there. It's kind of, there you go. Yep, Green Lantern Corps. Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps. He signed that. Again, he signed it. That's cool. Look at the reflection there on the lantern. Great artistic choices. Very creative. Very creative. Beautiful cover. Yep. And I asked him about his process. I said, "Did you always ink over your blue lines?" And I think he clarified that no, he didn't always. That's what he does now. And I asked him. I said, "Did you start doing that when you started inking yourself?" And he said, "Yes." And I see if you're really good and if you're competent and you're a good artist, you can ink and you're inking yourself. You just skip that penciling stage altogether, and you just go straight to inks. That's pretty cool, you know. So I mean, that's what he was doing. He was drawing this Power Girl. I don't know if it was a commission or what. I'm sure it was, but it was cool. You know, cool to see that. Cool to see him work. Because, you know, he's got a good camera on his stream when he's doing like the draw streams, and he's showing you like what he's drawing on his drawing board. But this is cool with Green Arrow on here. Yeah, 2005. But yeah, he has a good camera for that, and but sometimes it's hard to see his blue line underdrawing, and I when I was there in person, I got an impression that it was just an impression, you know, of what he was going to do, and he starts the rendering right away, you know. Oh, here is the badge for Garden State Comic Fest, and Chris Graves, he did the there's the signature there. He drew the Spider-Man, and he did the Spider-Man piece, which is really good. So yeah, it was cool. You know, and then look, here's an issue of New X-Men that Ethan was on with Grant Morrison. So that's cool. You know, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun little trip down to New Jersey, and I really enjoyed getting to speak with Ethan. I met his son Hunter, as I said, very nice. And yeah, so that's basically it for this video. Oh, you know what? No, that's not it. Hold on. I got one last thing. I gotta get in here. And let me find it. Here it is. Check this out. So this, I met Bob Camp. He's the co-creator of Ren and Stimpy. If I could get this around. Flip it around there. So I got this pin. This Ren and Stimpy pin. And he had a hilarious story about one of the episodes and one of the characters, and they put something in there, they couldn't believe that it got on air, and you know, it was just funny. It was funny talking to him, and I highly recommend that if you get a chance to go to these shows, these smaller shows, you should, because you get like one-on-one time with people, and you get to talk to them, kind of ask questions, pick their brain, you know. So I highly recommend going out to these shows and meeting these artists, and you know, do some things and give them some some of them have some really good merch, and you know, you have an opportunity to do that. So I'm just flipping things around here, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. And I'm not going to get rid of this light here, so that's just the way it's going to be. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you right here next time at Acadian Comics.